Well, hello, and welcome back. We're going to be continuing with I have a few progressive records left, and then going to finish off the 70's stuff. Still got a bunch of that, of course. And I had someone asking me last week, Ron, I saw you had a lot of Depeche Mode records. Do you have any other 80's stuff? Of course, I have a whole bunch of 80's records. And then I've had people asking me about jazz records, so we're going to eventually get to all that stuff. Hopefully it won't take too long. So the next one is a progressive band out of Japan from 1970. That's when they made this record, Food Brain. And it's on a nice gatefold sleeve. This was a reissue done in 1999. I picked it up. Good Japanese progressive music from 1970. Now, Dots and Loops had a video out the other day about the worst LP covers. Yeah, he didn't have this record, did he? No. This is the king. This is the winner of all the worst LP covers ever done. This has got to be the one. This is a horrible cover. I mean, for me anyway. What's going on? Why would people put this on their album cover? Beyond me. But with that said, now this Pantera is a Swedish band. This record came out in 1973. It's phenomenal. It's friggin' unbelievable how great this record is. These guys, these Swedes now, they can really play some progressive music. Great guitar, great drumming, all the good elements. And it doesn't say it on here what they all are, but it's recorded at EMI in Stockholm, Sweden in May of '73. Pantera, you need to listen to that. Let me know what y'all think of that record. I know what you think of their record cover. Okay, next is Sindelfingen. The name of the LP is OG Pig from 1973. And this is a Greek reissue that was done around 2010, I think. And they included this Greek reissue label now. Anastasi Records. They put in this insert, Sindelfingen, which opens up. It's laminated, and it talks all about the band, all about the record, how they had only made 100 records of this. Originally was only pressed on a private label with 100, and they've got some nice lyric sheets in here. So they did a really nice job of reissuing the record. And if you know anything about, if you've got any of these Greek pressings, the Greeks make good sounding records. They do. And this is a nice 180 gram record. Sounds great. And now, one of the things on this record that they do is they have the Lyra, the bell Lyra. You see marching bands have that. And as they're now, this is it's a folk progressive folk music, and a lot of it is acoustic by nature. So that's why I call it folk, because they play a lot of acoustic, and they're bringing that Lyra. They're ringing those little bells on there with the music, and a lot of times as the guy will hit that note, he'll hit that bell on there on that Lyra. Really good. I really like it. It's good. It's good music. It's different, and the guys can really play the guitar. They should play it. They do a lot of strumming, but they can really pick that guitar too when they set their mind to it. It's a good progressive record. I just thought I'd share it with you. I don't know how easy something like that is to find, but you can all look it up, I imagine, on YouTube and have a listen to it. Get this put back in here. Next up, Quicksilver Messenger Service. This is from 1969. Happy Trails. And this has got a lot of those, guitar jams and stuff on it. It's kind of trippy music. Happy Trails, Quicksilver. And this is a UK pressing. It's a second edition UK press, because it's not on the lime green Capitol label. It's on the orange Capitol label, but it is near mint. Really, really nice copy of this record. I bought it in a used record store in Winnipeg. I probably paid, I don't know, $8-9 or something for it years and years ago. And just a great record. And you can kind of get a little flashback there of that old EMI on the back cover there, what that looks like. Now we got some Judy Driscoll. This is Judy Driscoll, 1969. Here's another record from 1969, Judy Driscoll. Now, Julie she sings, of course, on the record, and I think she plays the acoustic guitar. And the thing about this record is it's got a lot of horns, saxophone, got trombone on it. Yeah. Alto sax, oboe, trombone, dual guitars. They got two guys playing the guitar at once on one of these songs. And she's kind of like Joni Mitchell. When she's playing her guitar and she's singing, she sounds like Joni Mitchell. It's kind of like, reminds me of that. But then all of a sudden, hey, here comes the trombones, the saxophones, and all that stuff's kicking in. Yeah, they really get going. They up the ante on all that. And it really gets progressive, a little bit of jazz elements in it. Really good record. Really good record. And of course I have it in the nice Japanese pressing. Now, Simon and Garfunkel. Look at this nice little box. I used to have, Bridge Over Troubled Waters on a MoFi, and I had a bunch of those, three of these on Columbia 2 Eyes, and then I found this box. This is one of those gift pack series. And I also have a record like this, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And this was, it's on a box that opens up, and the gift pack series. Here's the original inner sleeves with a bunch of the Doris Day. Look at that, Doris Day, Donovan's Greatest Hits, stuff like that on there. And then with the gift pack series, you always got a calendar. That was part of the thing they did. And the CBS Sony gift pack series. Here's Simon and Garfunkel. Johnny Cash. Sure looks like Roy Orbison on there. Michael Pontreef, Bob Dylan, Chicago, Blood, Sweat and Tears, Santana, Mark Lindsay, The Fifth Dimension, Miles Davis, and Andy Williams. Bob Dylan. And this stuff's starting to come apart. Bob Dylan. Move it over here. Chicago. Blood, Sweat and Tears. Santana. They could have more of the band and less of the ceiling in that one, couldn't they? Yeah. Mark Lindsay. Fifth Dimension. Here's a nice picture of the Fifth Dimension. Got a picture of Miles here. Pretty cool. And Andy Williams is on here too. Sure glad I got Andy Williams in there. Okay, so now let's put it back together. Here's a calendar. And then we've got a book. And a lot of Japanese in here. But it's got some nice pictures of it. And then we've got all the English lyrics and the Japanese side by each on here. And we've got two nice records in here. On the gift pack, Sony, CBS Sony label. It's red because it's a gift pack series. And this is a compilation now on a Japanese pressing, and it's got all their great songs on here. So let's look on the back. We'll look on the back for the song titles. And you know, I don't have any of those other records anymore. I've got this now, and I don't need just a, it's in your right way. It doesn't fit. Yeah, it's got all their hits on here. Everything that you would want. It's right there. So that's what I have now for Simon and Garfunkel. Now we've got a band, Blitz. This is what you call your hard psych, hard rock. Really good band. Now I've got this. This is the first one, and this is the second one. These are originally on a Vertigo Swirl. I got this one. It's still in the shrink, but it's on a Spaceship label. It's the second edition. Sounds phenomenal. And I think this is another candidate for one of them bad album covers. Right here. But fantastic music. Blitz. Fantastic. And then this is Blitz, the 2nd of May. This is the 2nd of May Blitz. And this is just titled, self-titled Blitz. Really good. Heavy duty rock and roll on this stuff. Real good stuff. Then we got Lucifers Friend. Well, which one's Lucifer and which one's his friend? Yeah, I don't know. The guy with the hook here, he doesn't look too friendly. And plus all the stuff they're standing in around here. This is an original pressing that I bought probably 40 years ago. And it's a Canadian press. It's on their Red Phillips label. And it's got good sound on this record does. Sounds really good. I've never wanted to get anything else besides this. It's in a really nice condition. And it's on a nice gatefold. And this record here, this kicks butt now. This is a great hard rockin' record right here. If you're not familiar with this Lucifer's Friend, this one here, have a listen to that. See what y'all think. One of my favorite records. Really good record right there. And we've got some Moses. Again, this is a reissue now. It's a reissue. And this is, again, 1970 something or other. Hard, heavy, rock, trio. Moses, Spectator Records. There's another good heavy duty rock and roll band right there, Moses. Then we have Orang-utan. Again, this is another one of those Japanese bands. Then this is a reissue, 180 gram by Dr. Prague. You know, I tried to look up Dr. Prague records, and there's Google can't find them. So I don't know how many records he ever made. But this is Orang-utan, and they're out of Japan. Again, really good, heavy rock and roll on this record. Another good one. And that's about it for we're through the prog. Now we're getting into the heavy stuff. And I've got a few little things I threw in here. This is Hugo Montero, music from A Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more. The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah, it's got all those great songs on it from all those old Dustin Hoffman movies on here. And this is RCA Victor. It's an original on the RCA Victor label like that. Dynagroove, Living Stereo. So that's pretty good. It's a Dynagroove living stereo record, and it's got those great songs on it. Good, Bad, and the Ugly and all that. Yeah, I love that record. It's a good record. Now how about this one? Little Red Riding Hood, Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs. Yeah, here's another one, original, in the shrink, on that MGM label. Yeah, this one's in the shrink, mint condition. Who's that walking in the woods? Why, it's Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah, we all know that stuff. We love that. Everybody loves that stuff. Little Red Riding Hood. He does Hanky Panky on here. Yeah. Good stuff. Then we've got David Crosby, If Only I Could Remember My Name. This is a beautiful Rhino reissue, which I've talked about a number of times before. Beautiful Rhino reissue. Very, very thick cover. It's on the Atlantic. And these were pressed in Germany. These records were pressed in Germany. But the covers sure weren't made in Germany. They made these covers here. And I used to have the Classic Records reissue, the 200 gram issue of this record. And this was a lot better. This Rhino sounds a lot better. I know it's hard to believe, but believe me, when it's kind of like what Bernie Grumman says. You know, Classic Records has had so much equipment that they had. Well, when they did that record, Rhino came along. They got Acoustic now over at RTI, and they mastered that record over there by Steve Hoffman and Gray. And they had better equipment, and they could make a better sounding record, and they sure did. Gun. This is a great record here too. A lot of you people know about this Gun record. If you don't, you need to have a listen to it. Race with the Devil. Yeah, that's the title track on there, on that record. Really good. And of course, this is on the Yellow Epic. This is an original on the Yellow Epic label. I think it's been reissued, or it should be reissued if it's not. But it's really, really good. And now that's what I call a good album cover. That's cool. I like stuff like that. Guys sitting there with their pants off, that's not my idea of a good record cover. Look at these dudes here. Yeah, Gun. Good record. Good record there. And then one of my favorites of all the time, I know this song by heart, you know, Ode to Billy Joe by Bobby Gentry on the Capitol. Here she is. She's going over by the bridge. And this is on the original Rainbow Capitol label. And I bought the 45 of this when I was a kid. I couldn't find the LP down at the store, local store. But I got Ode to Billy Joe. Mississippi Delta, I think, was on the other side. Good record right there. Original press. Now we have Norman Greenbaum, Spirit in the Sky. And I have bought a couple of these as well, until I finally got it on this label right here. This orange and brown reprise label. That's your original press. And here's the original inner sleeve from the reprise records of the day. And now this one, this Norman Greenbaum one, Spirit in the Sky on here, this one really sounds good. Happy with this record. And that's going to conclude the video for today. And thanks for watching.